Welcome back to Cover Your Assets. We've got Todd Rooker, Craig Nestor, Jason and Derek Walgrave all here in the house. Today, general topic, we're talking about the 4 things you absolutely must do during a financial crisis. Your questions, 855-835-8500. That's 855-835-8500. And just in a moment here, we're going to go to special guest Mr. Scott Letourneau about establishing, positioning, and protecting entrepreneurs in today's new now. But since we're such a new show, I'd like to introduce you guys to the crew. And today we're going to feature Jason and Derek Walgrave of the Minnesota real estate team out of RE/MAX Advantage Plus.
So Larry, tell us your name and where you're from.
My name is Larry Wilson, and I'm from Inver Grove Heights.
Tell us which one of the Cover Your Assets experts that you worked with.
Jason Walgrave.
So tell me a little bit about your scenario and what Jason helped you with.
My wife and I had a beautiful home in Inver Grove Heights. It was architecturally designed home, and it was a very unique home. The home was designed for primarily just 2 people. It had very unique features in that it actually really only had 2 bedrooms. It was an exceptionally well-made home on 5 acres in the woods, and just not the type of home that would necessarily appeal to your everyday family. Jason helped us to market the home and to ultimately get it sold.
I see. So how is it that you came to choose Jason Walgrave to help you with the sale of this particularly unique home?
I had heard Jason on the radio and was very impressed with his patience with the callers and just his general demeanor. After I had called the radio program, I got an email from Jason and interviewed Jason in our home and was extremely impressed, and my wife and I both were extremely impressed and decided to hire him.
So what was the experience like in having your home marketed by Jason Walgrave and getting it to the point where you were able to move on?
Jason is just a terrific guy, and he's very patient. The marketing that he did for us was exceptional. They did tremendous photography of our beautiful home and presented it on the internet and on a virtual tour. I was just impressed with the whole experience, and particularly since I'm generally not the most patient individual in the world, it was great to deal with someone like him who was just very patient and understanding and such a good listener through the whole process.
So I'm guessing that this probably wasn't your first experience with a real estate agent in your adult life.
No, in fact, we have owned other homes and had to, sell other homes, and this was the first time I had to do a real estate transaction as far as a sale in probably 18 years, but generally it was overall the best experience I've had with any realtor.
Tell me what you would say to anyone that needed the services of someone for a purchase, even a distressed or any other type of real estate sale or purchase.
I would say that you really can't go wrong choosing Jason as your real estate agent. I'm not being paid to say this. My wife would reiterate this immediately, and Jason is just an extremely nice person, very professional salesperson, very good listener, extremely understanding, and more than anything else, patient. And I think that his professionalism and the way he went about selling our home was exceptional. I just couldn't have asked for a better job.
Larry, I thank you so much for taking time to share your experience with us.
You're very welcome.
See, let the clients tell the story for themselves. Congratulations, Jason.
Thank you.
The vast majority of people who go through short sales tend to believe that it's not going to work out. When you work with somebody like Jason and his team, it does work out, or it has a vastly better chance of succeeding. And that's one of the frustrations when I talk to people about short sales. They say, well, it's really going to be a waste of time because my understanding is they never work out anyway. That's a load of garbage. They do work out when they're handled properly. If somebody comes to me and they say, I'd like to get a referral from you, I always laugh and say, you know what, if you want a referral, you can waste a lot of time in the telephone book, or you can talk to somebody who's really engaged in the industry, who doesn't get their referrals from the bulletin board at the coffee shop, and find somebody who's really an experienced expert in it. Jason is that guy, no doubt about it.
Well, it's about having a system in place and having, surrounding yourself with professionals that can help with, the negotiating, and you have attorneys that do that, and we have a process of a marketing plan, a written marketing plan strategy to expose your home to the most amount of people and to sell it, in the quickest time for the highest price. And, and that's what sellers want. And, that's what we're here to provide.
Absolutely. 855-835-8500. That's 855-835-8500. And here on Cover Your Assets, this panel of experts, we don't just deal with distress. In fact, today we're going to welcome special guest Scott Letourneau to talk about entrepreneurs. And Todd, you have a great relationship with Scott.
I've worked with Scott for many years. Scott actually tracked me down when I did a seminar out in Detroit. And the seminar, they did a video on me, and he called me up. Scott specializes in credit, and the seminar that I was doing was on personal credit. They had flown me out to do it, and he said, this is interesting. You're doing the personal stuff. I do the business stuff. We need to kind of hook up. And from that point on, it's been just a wonderful relationship. Nevada corporations and incorporating properly is crucial for business owners. I used to teach a class on business incorporation and entity selection, and Scott's going to talk about a lot of those things that people who are in business need to know. Too many people are in business. They don't have a clue how they should be positioned as a business and how they should incorporate their business, and the difference can be profound.
Well, welcome, Scott. How are you?
I'm outstanding, thank you.
Well, I'm glad to have you join us here on Cover Your Assets. Now, that's quite a recommendation there from Mr. Todd Rooker. Tell us a little bit about your background and what you do on a daily basis for these entrepreneurs.
Yeah, thank you. For the last 14 years, my specialty is help entrepreneurs get off to a fast start to profits. Because starting a business, the only goal is profitability. So we've helped set up thousands of corporations, LLCs, actually in all 50 states. We have international clients. People throughout the United States, all types of businesses that come to us first to get their business started. Very similar to what Todd said about his industry, ours is very similar. If you go to start a business, nobody ever invented the business startup store. So what happens, when you think about it, where do you go to do that? So a lot of people get different answers. They go to the CPA, the attorney, the financial planner. They go on the internet. They go to the Secretary of State Department, Business License Department, banker, and they get all different answers. So I have a background in finances, and I studied and interviewed some of the best people in the world in all these niches and came up with a comprehensive approach to get the most effective results for small business owners so they can really get off to a fast start to profits and beat the odds, because unfortunately 95% do fail within about 5 years.
That's amazing. Over 5,500 clients you've helped?
Yes.
Well, Todd,
years.
Todd was speaking, Scott, that you have mastery with helping people get off to a fast start in their business. In these trying economic times, how valuable is the service you provide?
Well, it's critical to success because most people don't have a lot of extra time or money. So if you make a mistake in this area, Craig, I see most businesses are out of the game within the first 3 to 6 months, not only the first year, because they start off in the wrong foundation. So it's critical that if you're going to go into a business, you have the strong foundation, because when you do it, I love psychology because it's half the battle being successful in any subject, especially a business. And when you have a strong foundation, you access the number one resource from a psychological perspective, which is the resource of certainty and confidence. See, if you have a shaky foundation, you're unsure of what you're doing. It just carries over to everything else you're doing, and you're out of the game before you even get started within a short period of time.
Well, Scott, one of your latest periodicals speaks about the 9 most devastating mistakes that an entrepreneur would make. Can you? I would love to talk about all the things that they can do right, but obviously you see some of the things that they do wrong.
Yes, absolutely. And so, for example, one of the biggest ones is using personal credit to self-finance your business. And
there's another way?
there absolutely is another way, and there's a better approach. And unfortunately, Craig, 67% of all small businesses operate this way. They operate as step one. They start off as a sole proprietorship. The belief system is to keep it simple. And where this advice is coming from, now when I tell you where it's coming from, it doesn't mean they're giving bad advice. They're giving advice from their niche.
I know where this is going.
And their specialty, as Todd said earlier, their specialty is one niche, and it doesn't overlap into financing. So, for example, Most small business, I notice, they go to their accountant or CPA as step number one. Most likely that's the only professional they have in their life. And they ask them, should I incorporate my business or what should I do? And the accountant typically has a benchmark question about what do you expect to make in profits, net profits the first year, which will dictate how much in taxes you're going to pay. So, for example, they might say, do you expect to make $40,000 or $50,000 in net profits? If you do, forming typically an S corporation could help you with what's called employment taxes, saving that areas. But if you don't, and a lot of people are a little unsure, they're starting a new business, they don't have experience in the business yet, they need to make some extra money. So the recommendation is keep it simple, operate as a sole proprietorship, and if you make enough money in year 2, we'll look at maybe forming a corporation. Now, from a tax point of view, that was probably the correct advice, but from a liability, marketing, and financing point of view, it was the wrong advice. So financing specifically, what sole proprietorships do, they don't have investors, right? So what they do is they self-finance through their personal credit cards. You self-finance through your personal credit cards. That, of course, increases your revolving debt, which drives down your credit score. Now everything is personally guaranteed in your personal name. Let's say you make it through the first year. Now you go to the accountant, you form the corporation year 2, you go to a bank to apply for a simple business credit card. Yes, it's personally guaranteed, but the debt does not show up in your personal credit bureau, which is huge. You'll get rejected.
Yeah.
Because your personal credit score is too low. So there's a better approach, and we'll talk about that shortly.
Yes, we absolutely will. You're listening to Cover Your Assets. Special guest today, Scott Letourneau, 855-835-8500.
AM 1280, The Patriot. Every 3 minutes, another person falls further into credit card debt, which isn't surprising since every major credit card company has nearly doubled their minimum monthly payment. Now people can barely afford to keep up with those minimum payments, which can take up to 30 years to pay off. But now, relief is in sight, thanks to a powerful program from Credit Card of America, a nonprofit debt management provider. If you have $2,000 or more in credit card debt, you could cut your payment up to half and reduce or eliminate interest charges altogether. For free information, call now, 1-800-517-4947.
Credit Card cut my monthly payment by $656 and saved me over $29,000 in interest. I can now see myself becoming debt-free.
We've helped put over 200,000 families on the road to financial independence, and now we want to help you. Call now to see how this powerful program can work for you and just how quickly and easily you can get debt-free. 1-800-517-4947. That's 1-800-517-4947.
How would an extra $700 to $3,000 a month affect your lifestyle? You could build a financial cushion, pay off some debt, save a little, maybe take a nice family vacation. Wouldn't it be nice just not to have to worry about money all the time? Hi, how in the world are you anyway? I'm Andy Willoughby from the 3-Step Plan Home Business System. For over 10 years, we've been helping families add extra income to their budget by building a 3-step plan home business. We would like to send you a free video that will show you step by step how to add $700, $3,000, or even more extra income using your telephone and the internet. This video will also show you how you could save thousands of dollars on your taxes and get a bigger tax refund every year. To get this free video, go to take3stepsforward.com. That's take3stepsforward.com or call 888-366-5258. That's 888-366-5258.
This is Dan Tullis, and I just called Joel Clark, one of Select Quote Insurance Services' term life agents.
Hi, Mr. Tullis.
Joel, how does Select Quote save you money on term life insurance?
Well, buying term life insurance is all about choosing the right company. Let's say you take antidepressants or you smoke. All insurance companies are going to price that differently. We'll impartially shop all the companies we represent to find you the best price.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. I just got a man, 40 years old, who takes blood pressure medication, a $500,000 policy with a highly rated insurance company. His price, $21 a month.
Call 1-800-935-8767 and see how affordable term life insurance can be. That's 1-800-935-8767. 1-800-935-8767. Or go to selectquote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details on the example policy at selectquote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.